Hey everyone, September 2025, how the recent Supreme Court decision affects undocumented people. This is Christina Williams with Just Criminal Law.
And David Mann, legal storytelling specialist. Okay, so I heard about this just yesterday, Supreme Court ruling. What exactly is this again?
Well, if you recall, several months ago, the district court in California told the Trump administration that unless they had a warrant or reasonable suspicion to arrest an undocumented person, that arrest was illegal. Now, the Trump administration appealed that to the Court of Appeals, and the Supreme Court, which is the third court to hear this, ruled yesterday on the matter. And in fact, we're back to square one. That is what the administration was doing prior to this going before the judge in California was deemed to be okay. So business as usual is the outcome.
All right. So, and what is that business as usual? Can you describe that?
Sure. So the Department of Homeland Security or ICE is authorized to pick up undocumented people, and they don't have to have a warrant. And the standard is, they just have to have a reason to believe that the person is here illegally. Now, that criteria is broad. Like, there's in an area where illegal immigrants typically are found. They maybe don't speak English. They look like they're of Hispanic descent or whatever the case may be, but in California, that's what the case was. And they're, in a place like a line for day labor. And this is enough for them to be picked up. Now, the solution to this is, not everyone is undocumented, and some people are, in fact, not citizens. They're here. They may be amongst the people that we just spoke about, and they end up getting arrested and detained. And so this is just words of wisdom for those people.
Okay. All right. So what is the first piece of advice of probably 3 or 4 that you have here? What's the first piece of advice that you have for them?
Sure. So if you're here and you have a visa or a green card, make sure you have those documents with you at all time. It's just like carrying around your driver's license. That's going to save you a lot of trouble or inconvenience if you come across an ICE raid or an ICE agent, and you can simply show that you are documented, you are here legally, and then you'll be allowed to go on your way.
Okay, so that is as simple as, I don't have a green card myself, so that's as simple as like this. It's the size of a driver's license, just like carrying your driver's license, or maybe your for U.S. citizens, your passport card or something like that. It's that easy?
It's that easy.
So what specifically in this Supreme Court ruling was stated that might be of interest to the viewers?
Now, in the Supreme Court opinion, one of the justices noted, the fact remains that under the law passed by Congress and the President, illegal aliens are acting illegally by remaining in the United States, at least unless Congress and the President choose some other legislative approach to legalize some or all of those individuals now illegally present in the country. And by illegally immigrating into and remaining in the country, they are not only violating the immigration laws, but also jumping in front of those non-citizens who have followed the rules and are waiting in line to immigrate into the United States through the legal immigration process.
Okay. Yeah, it's a complex subject with lots of opinions and lots of sides on it, but as you say, this is where we are at today. So if someone is undocumented or maybe documented and legal but doesn't have their documents with them, and they are approached and detained or arrested, what should they do then?
Sure. So, it's always an attorney that can come in and save the day. And I've been in this position before where I had a client arrested for a DUI that was documented, and I was able to provide the detention center, that is the jail, with those documents. And, it was just a DUI, so there wasn't an issue where they needed to post a bond. And the jail, in fact, let them go. So I was able to help that person who was basically on an ICE hold because they looked like they might be here illegally, but in fact, they were not.
Okay, so before they have a lawyer involved, do you have any advice for how to make things go as well as possible, just even getting to the lawyer?
Well, obviously, like you had mentioned, make sure that you carry your documents with you and that you can show that you are, in fact, authorized to work, you're authorized to be here. And otherwise, as always, exercise that right to remain silent. And, you should be given an opportunity to get a hold of a friend or family member, have that friend or family member get an attorney involved. And, if in fact you are undocumented and there is an ICE hold, you are entitled to a hearing. That is, everybody's entitled to their due process hearing. Unfortunately, the reality of it is if you do go through that hearing and you are adjudicated to be here illegally and ordered to be deported, you have a 5-year waiting period once you've been adjudicated. So my suggestion is, you're entitled to that hearing, but I would waive the hearing, agree to go back to your country voluntarily, and then start the process to become documented legally. You will have to get in line. You will have to wait before you're able to come back, but at least you won't be banned.
Okay. How long does that process sometimes take once you sort of get in line?
Well, that changes from week to week, month to month. The more people that get in line, it's like anything, the longer it will take. So I can't really give you any sort of idea of what that looks like as we speak today. But that is really the only way to do it properly at this point in time.
Okay, so at that critical moment when someone may not have had their documents on them or don't have them, they need to call a lawyer, and that probably should be you. Can you handle this type of a case right now?
Sure, I can help them, especially if they've been arrested because of a criminal matter. But I can always point people in the right direction.
They need to call a lawyer, and that probably should be you.
We'll include a link in the description where they can call, text, or chat with a member of my team anytime, day or night. Here at Just Criminal Law, we know you only get one shot at justice, so make yours count.